Back in the day when we started from the cave days, we had to eat meat to survive because we had this bacon and I couldn't eat the bacon. It tasted so young. Oh no, I'm actually gonna cry.
But yeah, all of this just because someone wanted cheese or wanted milk in their cereal or something like that, instead of having an alternative, right? That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Fresh, we're not talking about our organic, we're talking about cheap meat or cheap rates for people that are below the poverty line and that can't afford organic meat, which is sad. That's really sad. So you buy into this culture of caged eggs, right?
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
But you have to feed yourself for the week. So what do? Do you be bad to the animals or do you starve? Because you need that protein.
Okay.
So there's shark fins as well. I mean, that's a delicacy in China.
Yeah.
But they literally waste the rest of the shark, chuck it back into the ocean just for that one fin.
But that's free range though, right?
How is that?
Like it's wild, like free range, you know what I mean?
But
It probably lived a good life.
well, not at the rate they're doing it. Not at the rate they're doing it. Maybe if you're a fisherman out on a boat and I guess you get a shark and you want just the shark fin, okay. But I mean, like, there's that fisherman rule, right? The first catch you fish, you put it in the sea. Like, there's honor to fishing, just like any kind of, like when you, like, I guess pigs, like there's kosher meat and there's unkosher meat. So kosher meat is blessed, unkosher meat is unblessed meat.
So actually, in a way, you do think animals deserve to be abused if they're raised in a specific way.
Abuse is the wrong word.
What's the...
Abuse is a very strong term. Abuse
reason?
is a fucked up word, man. It's a fucked
Would
up
you,
word.
like, if someone slit your throat, would you define that as abuse or...
I would define that as murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, a form of abuse, you wouldn't say?
I mean, that's getting to the nits and grits of it. I mean, I think we all know what abuse means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about...
I don't think anyone deserves to be abused.
Okay, fair enough. But from what I hear of you talking about things like organic meats,
Yeah,
it does
that's
sound like...
because that doesn't mean that they're abused, though. Abuse is like torture. Like you're putting someone through pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're honoring someone, there's this thing
Hold
as
on.
fresh kill,
Yep.
and this thing as a slow kill.
Yep.
Slow kill would be abuse.
Yeah. But you talked about honor there. It's easy to say it from the lens of the person who's not afflicted by the harm. But if someone were to honor you in the same way that you're saying for animals that are raised organically, would you say it would be...
Well, if you're going to talk about that, you can talk about the iwis and Ngāpuhi and how they were cannibals.
No, I'm talking about raising animals.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking about killing another being, right? And you're talking about humans in relation to that. And so I'm saying this is how it's not abuse.
So I guess to get
They
to the
would
point,
win.
it's like,
They would
yeah,
win
if you
by
are being
taking-
attacked by
cutting
someone
off
else...
someone's ear or body piece and eating it to take their mana.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think
Because
that has
they now
anything
have
to
it
do with
now.
raising animals who haven't done literally anything to anyone and killing them for something like taste pleasure? Do you think those two can relate
I was
it?
a vegetarian for 2 years.
Why?
Then I had to stop being a vegetarian, as I was saying, because I was poor. And there's so much that I can do to feed the rest of my family as well, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like for a certain price. So there's many
It depends on how you form your
layers
diet, really.
to this.
Yeah,
There's
okay,
many
so,
layers.
but the thing is, people in third world countries eat a 90% plant-based diet because they are literally poor, they can't afford any. Like if you're saying
All animals
you
kill
can't...
animals, so there's a difference. They don't abuse. This is such a big topic for me. Okay, so
Yeah,
okay,
I
yes, we're
appreciate
at the
it.
top of the food chain. Yep.
Yeah.
But okay. So what does a shark eat? What does an elephant eat? There's herbivores and there's carnivores, right? Just like there's vegetarians and there's meat lovers.
Does that have any bearing on how we should be, like
What does a human eat?
Yeah.
Back in the day when we started from the cave days, we had to eat meat to survive because we didn't know how long that would be without food.
No doubt.
We had to use the skin on the back of them, but nowadays we have the pleasure and the luxury of supermarkets and all
Exactly.
of that.
So if we're truly to make moral progress and societal progress, we can't really look to past happenings, especially what we would consider now immoral, to judge how we should live our lives today. You know what I mean? Anyways. you
Sorry, I
don't
really
think...
came at you because I thought you're like animals deserve to be abused, but
I
now I
mean,
realize the different,
that's-
the counter argument you're coming from. It's
Oh,
how
yeah.
you, yeah.
I mean, so basically this sign is the truth of society. And I'm counting on people to be angry with this because essentially that is what they agree with if they're going to buy animal products.
I don't know, so you're saying chicken eggs that my chicken's in my back farm and if I use their eggs, that's abuse?
Okay, so let's consider the whole process. Where did you get those chickens from?
From doggy.
From a breeder, right?
From a farm.
From a farm, from a breeder, yeah. So what those breeders do, because the males are useless to the egg industry, they don't raise them for meat.
That's different. That's not farm. That's not... Wait, sorry. Wait, no, I'm gonna let you finish.
The chickens that are bred, obviously you get them from a farm, the farmer gets it from a breeder. They don't just pop out of existence, they don't just come out from the wild. Unless your chickens are only laying an egg a month. If they're laying almost every day, came from a breeder. Because they've been genetically selected to do that. Chickens in the wild have a natural menstrual cycle just like human females. They would only lay that much. So yeah. So they would come from a breeder, and what happens at the breeding stage is that they're separated into male and female. The males obviously can't lay eggs, so what happens is they get put into a blender as a waste product as soon as they hatch. Yeah. So it's not, I'm not saying eating the egg is the harm, it's what's behind that. It's supporting that, really. Yeah. And the only reason why we got to the stage of mass breeding chickens for eggs in the first place is because people with that mentality that animals are here to provide for us. You know, you have someone with backyard chicken eggs, and then you want some, your neighbor wants some, their neighbor wants some, you end up making a business, you go down the line and you end up at what I just explained. But essentially, let's go.
Quote. It says, if slaughterhouses had
Glass walls.
Yeah.
People would be vegetarian or something. Honestly,
World would be vegetarian.
I don't believe that, because I think that even if people knew what was going on, it would be so much more normal. If people watch stuff like this all the time before eating their animals, it'd be so normal to them. Why would they care if they saw that, right? If you're grown up thinking that is morally okay, why would you have an issue with it? Whereas people now, when they see animal products in a supermarket, a chicken breast is so far removed from the actual animal.
Yeah.
I have a thing like, when I bought pork one day and I saw it had on the skin, it was pork belly, on the skin it had the nipple of the mother pig. And I felt disgusted because it related it to me buying a living animal rather than just buying meat. When people refer to... Not just that day. I mean, there's so many other factors that I can't even comprehend that would have led me to
I have a funny story about bacon as well. So coffee club, I got bacon and eggs. From that day, okay, I was thinking about being vegetarian as well, but I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I was like 18, and then I went to coffee club with my boyfriend, grabbed some bacon and eggs, had this bacon, and I couldn't eat the bacon. It tasted so like young, and I was just like this, like, and he tried to eat it, and he was like, I can't, and he loves it. He had like a bacon mountain for his birthday, and he couldn't even eat that. And so like, I
Well, all pigs are slaughtered at 6 months old. That's the slaughter age for pigs. Yeah, so they're all, like, pretty much all animals that people eat are babies, essentially. Like, the older lamb is a sheep. Like, lambs are babies. Yeah. And people find absolutely no problem with indulging in lamb,
because I guess you're programmed from a young age to just like, you get your meat and 3 veg, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's just normalized until you start getting older and start making your own conscious decisions.
Yeah, and I bet you recognize especially how there's so many more forms of oppression that were normalized in a very similar way that people didn't question until they come of age and really consider the consequences of their actions, don't they? Yeah. So would you say that yourself are against animal abuse, or?
Yes.
Yes? How strongly do you feel about that?
I mean,
Whole heart. Okay.
However, like, it's very, it's like, because I'm part Māori as well, so we have hunters in our family, and it's a cultural thing as well, but we believe in blessing, like that sacrifice,
Okay.
for a hangi, or
Okay.
it's like, so culturally is very different to scientifically, or it's quite.
Do you think culture should determine whether or not we choose to do harm to others?
No.
No? Yeah.
No.
And going back to being against animal abuse, do you think that you could truly be against animal abuse while paying for products that necessitate animal abuse? No, yeah. And what industries do you think are abusing animals, like you said?
This is great though, because I've been really considering becoming vegetarian again.
Okay.
But I needed
Why is
the
that,
person
though?
with the knowledge
Okay.
to kind of push me in the right direction.
I mean, it really depends on the reasons for choosing that lifestyle, basically. Because I said before, vegetarians inherently don't do anything for animals because their choice is not based on the animal's best interest.
Oh, I said
Like I
diet.
said, yeah. It's a
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Maybe not. I mean, you're doing half of it, I guess.
like let's think. Do you know much about the dairy industry?
No.
Okay, yeah. So while most vegetarians do understand the cruelty that is involved in the dairy industry, they continue to buy products like cheese and milk because it tastes good for them. In dairy industry, it's quite similar to the egg industry actually, where obviously only the females can produce milk. And what do you think has to happen for the female to produce milk as a mammal? They have to have a child. So the standard practice is for them to be artificially inseminated. I'm sure you can understand what that would mean. So once they've gone through that process, they then have their babies taken away from them. Well, it's not because humans hate animals that this happens. It's because
The demand, right?
the demand, exactly,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the consumer.
Yeah.
It's because people value their taste pleasure higher than the lives and the suffering of animals to such a degree that, just explaining that kind of thing makes you sick to your stomach.
How would you feel about, let's say you had your own farm with your own cows,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like really happy and cool, and they naturally died.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel about that, Nick? 'Cause that's not abuse, I don't think.
Yeah, that is a fringe technicality where technically you could eat that, right? But then it would almost be like eating your pet. You know what I mean? If you have that kind of value of respect,
True.
that would be, there's no actual, I wouldn't say there's nothing actually morally wrong unless you killed it before it died or made it die faster if you just chucked it in a ditch or something. But you know what I mean? It would be like eating a family member or a pet.
God, yeah.
And why?
What about milking that cow?
Yeah.
Like
So
naturally, like when it naturally has milk. Would that be fine?
okay, so like I said, the reason why we got to this stage in the first place is because it's more like because humans believe that animals are here for us and not with us. We're looking at animals as resources instead of just earthlings sharing the space with us, right? We don't buy, well, some people do, but we don't generally buy dogs because we think we want to take something from them. We want to share the experience with them, right? But when people have things like backyard chickens, or like in your case you said with the milk, they only buy that animal because they want to exploit and use that animal.
What if you really still like the cow though, and then you just
I mean,
like
if you
wanted
like
some
the
milk
cow,
as well?
you don't have to. You don't have to. That's the thing. Like in the absence of necessity, comes exploitation and abuse, basically. Because with the cows that are bred, you wouldn't find a cow in the wild in New Zealand generally. So it'd be one that was
Unless you
selectively.
got not.
Yeah, it'd be the one that was selectively bred. And because, again, they're selectively bred to produce so much milk that they get things like mastitis, which is infections in their udders and stuff like that. A lot of these animals that are farmed, even in the best case scenarios, suffer because of the way their genetics have been manipulated. Like if you see over here, they were playing it before, but these chickens who grow up in sheds, they're less than 6 weeks old and they can barely stand. Yeah. The only reason they're like that is because of genetic manipulation and genetic selection.
I hate that there's creatures and things that are living in literal hell. Like they can't even move.
This is like 90%,
They're
more than
born to be
90% of the
killed.
production.
It's just disgusting.
Exactly. And the only thing that happens is for human benefit, human pleasure. Because people like things like KFC,
Yeah.
right?
I don't even like, I don't actually get the whole,
I loved it. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't get the
I
whole-
ate animals for the 21, 22 years of my life.
my dad works he's an engineer at taking chicken, so we
Yeah.
eat chicken all the time. I just don't get it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Animals do taste nice, but I don't think that my taste buds should define their worth to life, really.
And a lot of other things taste great too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You just have to it's just like a bit scary for some people who like pie lovers or whatever, and they're like, I'll never have a veggie pie, and then it's just a bit of an unknown territory, and it's like you have to have a bit of a flair when
Yeah.
you cook with like veggies and stuff. It can't just.
I
be
mean, you
like-
just have to, honestly, like cooking veggies is treating it like meat. Anyways, like with all of those things, it's really down to the reason why you choose to change your lifestyle in the first place. If you're doing it just for your diet, of course you're not going to adhere to it.
Yeah,
Whoever sticks to a diet, even when to like build muscle or something like that, to
Yeah.
get healthier or whatever.
Yeah.
But when it comes to an ethical proposition, that's something that can't take any compromise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you think you could do if you didn't want to live a lifestyle that abuses animals?
I mean, no more. I guess I would have to do research.
Yeah.
I'd really have to research into
Just
veganism.
understand, yeah.
I would have to.
I think it would be more in animal farming at the moment, because I was telling you quite a few new things, that you found out. Yeah, especially like this is over here's the footage of the dairy industry. Like I said, how they're taking away their children, because the more milk the children get, the less that humans get.
Oh,
And
no.
these are all the males, and like I said,
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh no, I'm actually gonna cry.
but yeah, all of this just because someone wanted cheese or wanted milk in their cereal or something like that, instead of having an alternative, right?
God.
Yeah.
What is wrong with God, that's so
And now if you think,
fucked up.
if you were one of those animals, what would you want someone to do for you in that position?
I would want to abuse him.
Well, obviously, as the animal, you have no choice, right?
Yeah.
You have no power whatsoever. So what would you want other people to do for you?
Speak up.
Yeah.
voice up.
Yeah. And at the very
Make it-
least, not pay for that to happen, right? To you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly the opportunity that you have today to make a difference in the lives of these animals.
I'm sorry. That was really sad. No, because I think of my dog as well.
Yeah.
I'm just like, because he's like one. And
It's really sad. And I appreciate that's an extremely genuine reaction from someone just learning about these things. Because I was the same. I had no idea about these kind of things. I never questioned the ethics of drinking milk or buying animal products and stuff like that. Yeah. Until I really had to come to a time where I was like, where I became aware of it, and then I had to judge whether I was truly, like, I believed I was someone who was against animal abuse, just as I think you think
Yeah,
you are,
that was
And then
very
you look at
sus- I'm
this, and then,
sorry.
yeah, no,
I was very offended
honestly,
by your sign,
that's
and
the
I
whole
thought you were
point.
supporting it.
That's the whole point.
I was like, who are you? Thank you. And why would you do it in front of this?
Yeah.
Out of all places.
It makes it better.
Oh my god.
But do you get it now? It's, yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
That's actually a very you would be a great lawyer, man. Oh gosh. So is this what? Do you have a website or
there's the documentary which most of this footage is pulled from. It's called Dominion. Do you just want to chuck it on your phone or something, maybe?
don't have my phone?
Ah, okay.
Dominion.
Dominion, yeah,
Dominion, okay.
Dominion.
Okay.
But yeah, it just shows the standard practices of all the industries that abuse animals.
Yeah.
And that would probably be the first step for you, just to like learn what's been hidden from you, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, just remember that until the day that it is you do go vegan, animals will be abused because of those choices. So just think about what it says about your values, about what your actions say about your values. Yeah. It's wool. This is actually the wool industry. People think that there wouldn't necessarily be much wrong with taking wool from animals, but yeah. Until you show them something like this and they can barely look at it, right? And obviously, you know, once their production is done, they're just considered a waste product like pretty much all the other animals, yeah.
Oh my god, I'm actually gonna break down. I need to go. I'm so
That's all right. That's all right. You
Thank
should
you.
take a break from this, but yeah.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you stopping and being honest and everything. I can really see how genuine you are about this, and that's the most important thing. Genuity, right? Yeah. And yeah, just
You're doing a good job, man.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really remember that feeling whenever
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
about to buy products, and just yeah.
You know what? I haven't been grocery shopping yet, so this is gonna be.
Yeah. Do you have
go
any
grocery
other friends who are
shopping.
vegan or anything like
Yes,
that? Yeah.
yes.
Honestly, if they are vegan for the animals, they will absolutely drop everything to help you.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Seriously,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah, my older, she's like my sister. She's vegan,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go talk to her.
Yeah,
about
have a chat to her
it.
about
I
it.
really, oh my god.
Because
one-
yeah, honestly, if they have the animals in mind, and
Yeah.
I think you can imagine if you knew what was going on in that scale, you would drop everything to help someone make that change, right? Yeah. And I guarantee you they'll do the same thing for you.
Yeah.
I guarantee you. Yeah.
So I brought her dinner. I came late, and I forgot that she was vegan.
Oh no. Yeah.
I'd like, it was like some sausages and worse, like. And she's like, I was like, I brought dinner, and she's like, oh cool. And then I was like, no, you're vegan. And she's like, is there actual carcass in there? And I was like,
The
oh,
yeah,
shit.
the word she used, carcass.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I felt so
Yeah.
bad.
Wow.
So bad. But now it'll be funny. I can go back and be
Yeah.
like, hey mate, you turned me vegan. Do you want to?
You can get her some plant-based sausages and make a joke about it.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I wish you the best of luck. I think your friend will be able to give you everything you need to really make a difference in animals' lives from now. But yeah, honestly, thank you so much for the conversation.
Oh, thank you. And I'm sorry for all the sass.
No,
And
honestly,
thank you for educating
I
me.
actually love it. I love it when I get that reaction because it's genuine, right? Yeah.
I was skating, bro, and I was like, what?
That's
And
exactly.
your smile as well, and I was like, no.
That's
Not to
exactly.
go now.
Yeah. And you
So
see how I played
you
devil's
did.
advocate?
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
You really did.
Top of the food chain, right?
Yeah. And I was like, excuse
Yeah.
me? We're all centennial beings. We all have senses.
Oh
my
man.
God.
That's why I loved your reaction when I said those things. I knew it was going to be a good conversation as soon as you said that. Yeah, because I used to do this without the sign and people just walk by, not give a shit really. And then I put it in and I was like, you know,
No,
people are
that's-
stopping, people getting angry at me. I love it when people get angry at me.
No, that's right. No, and
Yeah.
you know what? It made me stop, and I was like, hang on. But then I saw this, and then I was like,
It's confusing,
actually,
right?
No, I thought that was really smart
Ah.
because you made people stop for this. Yeah.
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 And you made people question that, which I don't think, like, you know, just a plain screen. Like, honestly, very clever.
Thank you.
Especially the. But bro, when you're like, and I was like, my hair? Really? Really?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Oh man.
Anyways, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, honestly.
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
This
What
has
is your
been
name,
the
sorry?
best. Michael. Yours?
Michael. Gria.
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 Nice
Thank
to meet
so
you.
much. I will take all of this with me. I'm gonna go to work now.
All right.
Crying,
Best of
yeah.
luck. Yeah, they were like, what happened to you?
This conversation.
Oh my God.
Okay, you have a
All right.
great day.
You too.
And,
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Thank
You're
you.
doing some powerful stuff now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. My fucking heart, bro. What the hell? That was the best. Oh my God. That was fucking powerful. Bro, every time you record, shit like that happens, man. I swear to God.
What's your lucky charm?
Dude, honestly, this boy's a 4-leaf clover, eh?